Bienvenidos! Welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. Today we have a special treat here on the show. We're making what I consider to be the best tuna sandwich I have ever had in my life. We're talking sándwich de atún al estilo empanadilla. And let me tell you, if you're a tuna lover like me, you're gonna absolutely love this sandwich because it's got so many great textures and flavors to it. It's very easy to make, and it truly is the perfect sandwich for any occasion, folks. Not only are we talking simple ingredients, but the kind of food that's gonna fill your body with so much Spanish goodness. Let's begin by adding a couple eggs into a saucepan, filling it with some cold water, just enough to cover the eggs, and heating it with a high heat. Once the water comes to a boil, we'll place the lid on the saucepan and turn off the heat, and we're going to let the eggs sit here between 10 to 12 minutes to end up with perfectly hard-boiled eggs. In the meantime, let's get the rest of our ingredients ready. I'm going to finely chop one small onion, finely chop one red and one green bell pepper, and we'll finely grate 2 tomatoes to end up with half a cup of tomato sauce, which is 125 grams. And we'll also drain 4 cans of tuna into a fine sieve with a bowl underneath. The tuna that I'm using is in olive oil, and the size of each can is 4 ounces, which is about 110 grams. And we'll mix the tuna around to remove any of the excess olive oil, but like I always tell you, you don't want to overmix it, otherwise that tuna can easily dry up. Then we'll grab a large fry pan, heat it with a medium heat, and add in about 3 tablespoons of the olive oil from the canned tuna, which is 45 milliliters. After about 1 minute, you don't want to heat the olive oil from the canned tuna for too long, otherwise it starts splatting out of the pan. I'm going to add in all the chopped vegetables, except for the finely grated tomato. And we'll mix the vegetables around, that way they're all coated in that olive oil. After about 4 to 5 minutes, and the onion is nice and translucent and those bell peppers lightly sauteed, I'm going to add in half a teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 1.25 grams. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way the paprika is evenly coating all the vegetables. As always, the Spanish paprika that I'm using is from Kiva. You'll find a link where you can get some in the description box below, and if you buy it from that link, you'll get 25% off your order. Then we'll add in the finely grated tomato, and we'll season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix until everything's well mixed together, and then simmer it for a couple minutes. After about 3 to 4 minutes, and the grated tomato has slightly thickened up, I'm going to turn off the heat in the pan, add in the drained tuna, and we'll give this one final mix until everything's well mixed together, and then set it aside. For the next step, let's start assembling our tuna sandwiches. I'm going to grab a couple slices of white sandwich bread and lightly toast them. Of course, to make this tuna sandwich, you can also use whole wheat bread, multi-grain, or even gluten-free. Either way you go, make sure you lightly toast the bread, that when we add the tuna mixture into it, it doesn't get soggy. Then we'll start adding our tuna mixture in the bottom slice of each sandwich, and you want to make sure that you push down on that mixture, that way it's nice and compact and it doesn't fall out of the sandwich. Then we'll add in the hard-boiled eggs over the tuna mixture. I just thinly slice the hard-boiled eggs. Then we'll add in the remaining slices of toasted bread over each sandwich and gently push down on each one, that way the sandwich is nice and compact. Then we'll transfer the sandwiches into a baking tray that's lined with parchment paper. And we'll brush each sandwich with some egg wash, and you want to do this on both sides. The egg wash is basically 2 eggs that I whisked together and seasoned with sea salt and black pepper. And we'll add our baking tray into a preheated oven, bake and broil option. That's the bottom heat and top heat. Same thing as a convection oven, 220 degrees Celsius, which is 425 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't have an oven, you can just lightly fry these sandwiches in some olive oil for about 2 minutes per side. After about 10 minutes, and the sandwiches are golden baked, they are ready to go. I'm gonna remove them from the oven. And check it out, our tuna sandwich is done. Once again, this is known as un sándwich de atún al estilo empanadilla. Easy to make, beautiful presentation, and once again, it promises to fill your body with so much goodness. Let's give one of them a try and see how it turned out. As always, folks, now it's time for the moment of truth. Let's see how this tuna sandwich turned out. You gotta say, it looks absolutely beautiful. So delicate and delicious. Check that out. There's so much tuna goodness in there. You know, if you're a tuna lover like me, like I told you at the beginning, this sandwich is gonna blow you away. It tastes exactly like the famous empanada from Galicia, the tuna empanada, except so much easier to make, folks. Serve these sandwiches next to an ice cold Spanish beer, more specifically an Estrella Galicia. You're gonna have yourself an instant trip to beautiful Spain. Really quick before I go, shout out to a couple of my patrons, Martin Giddings, Araminda Garimea, Robert Manahan, Linda Bufano, and Hollis Helmichi. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, as it really helps out the channel. Leave me a comment below, and as always, don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego.